Ooh, whoops. Am I gonna trip already? One of the stone steps crumbles underfoot? What?
ここは西市区画。居住区の中でも特に古い区画なんだって。でも上につながる階段が残ってるのは西地区だけだから、今でもここに住んでる人は多いんだよ。
Stairway up to the top.
私もそう。生まれも育ちもずっとここ。
Nina stops and scans the area. Who is the PC volume at 10%? Oh, that shows up. I'm still using the display capture, am I? Let's change that. Here we go. Things are now fixed. You shouldn't have seen that, but yes, because I'm wearing headphones, so the audio is actually really loud. Actually, when I have headphones on, I usually have the audio around 8 or 10. There are rows upon rows of tiny brick houses. The town is a sea of grey. I even spot some buildings that have caved in and are half buried in sand. I expected to find nothing but snow, but there's not a snowflake in sight. And that's just the beginning.
仕方ないんだ。リフトを使えるのは第一層に住んでる教会の関係者だけだから。
Lift to a church official. Church! Uh-oh. That makes me think it's a religious thing, and the people in the church are the higher-ups who are running this country or something. Yeah, only the church people are allowed to use the lift. I followed Ina's gaze up, tilting my head back. There is no sky, but only a vast metal roof. In the middle of it is a large hole through which light is streaming in. Can we see an image of this? It looks almost like the sun. Then, in its central beam of light, I can see a thin shaft leading down to the ground. So, that thing moving up the shaft, that's the lift? Where are we? It appears that the town spreads outward from the central pillar. In total, I reckon it must be over 1 kilometer wide. Only 1 kilometer, though? That's not a whole lot. Or the pillar is 1 kilometer wide. The central... No, I don't know what's being referred to now. Uh-oh, English ambiguity. It appears that the town spreads out from the central pillar. In total, I reckon it must be 1 kilometer wide. Is it the town that's 1 kilometer wide? Or the pillar? 1 kilometer wide pillar would be really, really big. But a town... depends. Fair, he doesn't know anything other than the island, so... Right. I can only make a rough estimate since there's nothing around to use as a point of reference. The place is completely walled in. In fact, with that large roof as well, it's surrounded on all sides. We finally make it to the outer wall. As we climb, the stone steps turn to steel beams which creep all the way up along the perimeter. I frantically try to keep up with Ine, who strides confidently up the stairs even in the absence of any railings. I have a fear of heights. When I glance down the ground so far below that my legs begin to tremble. Uh-oh. My head? The ceiling has gotten really low all of a sudden. Every now and then sand trickles down on our heads. Rats. Ina vanishes up into the ceiling. All I can do is follow silently after her.
この辺りは居住区に近いから日用品を取り扱ってるお店が多いんだ。私のお気に入りはこのお店。この間インクのいらないペンが入荷したんだよ。
Inkless pens. Another similar town opens up as we climb up through the roof. Stalls line both sides of the road, and there are people dotted all around, unlike the level below.
そっちの路地には絶対入っちゃダメ。エッチなお店がいっぱい並んで
Ecchi
る
no
から。
mise. I spot a rat scuttling down the back alley, Nina is pointing out. A moment later, an emaciated cat chases after it. I have no idea what that is.
Emaciated.
Emaciated? Abnormally thin or weak, especially because of illness or lack of food. Okay.
今日の目的はここじゃなくてもう一つ上。
Another floor. Nina points towards the sky, except that there is no sky, only a hole to let in the light.
もしかして疲れちゃった？
Bruh. Yeah, I'm getting sort of dizzy.
休憩なら第一層の公園がおすすめだよ。もう少し頑張れる？
The top stratum? I get the feeling my dizziness isn't going away anytime soon. Ooh, a very different sort of townscape greets us when we arrive at the top. I want to look what's... So... That background looks like paneling. It's a fake backdrop. And... down there it looks all metal, and this would be the lift. Massive hole in the ground. Meticulous lawns abut broad. Tree-lined avenues, elegant white buildings line the perimeter walls. What strikes me most of all, though, is what's above us. Instead of an oppressive metal roof, there's a stretch of blue sky. I'm not so sure about that. There are flocks of birds flying past and huge rolling clouds overhead, the sort you see at the peak of summer. No, that's not right. When I squint to take a closer look, I realize it's just a fresco painted on the domed ceiling. Just, the reflected glow from the lights around the edge that makes it all look real. The grass, the trees, they're all fake.
ここが第一層、公共区。学校や病院があるところ。学校には私も毎週通ってたんだよ。先週の卒業式まではね。
Graduated?
中央の公園は有名なデートスポットで、あんまりそっち行くと危ないよ。
I lean over the railing and look down from the edge. You can see the commercial and residential districts where we were just earlier. Hey, can I ask you something? I have a billion questions, of course, but I feel like the answer to a single question should solve all the other mysteries. What year is it? Didn't you already ask this?
2016年だよ。
Yeah, Nina answers, very matter-of-factly. 2016. Oh, that can't be right. If that's true, then... Since then, it's only been... When was then?
もしかして何にも知らないの？
Sorry.
すごい。やっぱりあなた外から来たんだね。
Outside. Outside where?
じゃあ教えてあげる。私たちの歴史。
Invited to sit, I lower myself onto the bench.
ねえ、王様が眠りについちゃった話は知ってる？
No. I'm reluctant to speak for some reason, so I simply shake my head. Everyone walking past, it must look like a normal pair of siblings. No one's taking any particular notice of us. But I can't assume that anything before me is what it seems. Not even the girl sitting beside me.
昔ね、世界を支配する一人の王様がいたんだって。でも王様の周りは争いばかりで、ある日反乱を起こした自分の子供に刺されちゃうんだ。王様は傷を癒すために遠い地の果てで長い眠りについた。
I hope he was once again entered into an eternal sleep at the tip of the faraway island. Eternal sleep, island. That's two things that we know about, or at least have heard before.
その日から少しずつこの世界はおかしくなっていったんだって。
The world began to change.
少しずつ少しずつ 地球全体の気温が下がっていったんだって。まず食料が足りなくなってたくさんの人が死んで、次に大きな戦争が起きてもっとたくさんの人が死んで、みんな王様が目覚めるのを待ち続けた。でも結局王様は戻ってこなかった。やがて世界は雪に覆われた。残った人々は生き延びるために地下に潜った。最初はもっとずっと小さかったんだって。でも長い時間をかけて少しずつ大きくしていって、電気の光で農作もできるようにした。人口が増えるのに合わせてどんどん地下へと掘り進めていった。そうして完成したのが全23層からなる史上最大の自給自足型地下シェルター。
23 strata deep. Is this now Made in Abyss or what? And this place is...
そう、アイランドユーラシア、人類最後の砦、希望の箱舟。
Island Urashia? It's almost like Urashima Island. Island Urashia?
学校では教わるんだ。
What? No, that makes sense. If it's 2016, then Nina swings her legs up to launch herself onto her feet.
でもそんなのは私が生まれるよりもずっと昔のこと。だんだん作物が取れなくなって人口はどんどん減っていっちゃった。電気の消費を抑えるために下層から閉鎖されていって、今残ってるのはたったの3層。私たちの家のある第3層だっていつ閉鎖されるかわかんない。
All this from the mouth of a 13-year-old?
もしかしたら世界の終わりを見れるかもしれないね、私たち。
Nina beams at me. Either she's quite unaware of the meaning behind her words, or she has a dark sense of humor. You're not trying to trick me, are you?
私、嘘なんかつかないもん。
You puffed out her cheek in protest, and I found myself unable to respond. This kid has no reason to lie to me whatsoever. I'm the one who lied about being on some top secret mission. Hey, is it really the year 2016?
そうだよ。
How am I supposed to believe something like that?
西暦22016年。それが
Right.
私たちが生きる今だよ。
So, the thing being with Japanese, they cut their Japanese count per like 10,000 as well. So she omitted the 2 times 10,000 that came before it, which makes a lot more sense for her not saying it. But also, even in English, I guess, because that would be like 10,000 years. It's been so long, so you might as well not say it. That's fair. To them, they can just omit the first 2 because it doesn't really matter, but 20,000 years and not that much has changed. I know, right? They're still speaking Japanese. What crazy. What? Faced with such an inconceivably high number, I feel suddenly overwhelmed. But at the same time, it sort of makes sense to me. I see the end of the world, huh?
あれ？私今面白いこと言った？
Oh, it's nothing. Sorry for doubting you. I rub her head again in apology. Oh, it looks like she's not a fan of that. What? I've kind of got the gist of the situation now, so what's it like outside the shelter? You said it was all covered in snow.
多分本当のことは誰も知らないよ。
But how did you
アイラ
find
ンド
me
の外
then?
に出ることは禁止されてるから。
When you saved me back there.
し、
She suddenly leans in towards me and a horrified look on her face.
私が外に出てたこと誰にも言っちゃダメだよ。
Right. I see you've been a naughty kid.
違うよ。極秘任務だよ。
I see what's going on here. We'll go with that for now, shall we?
本当だもん。
Nina puffs out her cheeks again like a little kid, but I guess that's fair enough given her age. But that must mean you know more about the outside world than anyone else, right?
あれ？そういえば外のことは
I don't really know my way around these parts.
やっぱり遠くから来たんだ。かっこいい。
Not from far away, but like long ago, but suppose it is. Looks like the conversation's come to a standstill. Earthquake? What's this? Sound like a stampede. Okay, wasn't an earthquake. The moment I turn around, I find something latched about my midriff. A kid. 20,000-year-old boomer. Oh my god. Judging by her appearance, she's probably around Nina's age. Oh! Old man. With a stab to the heart, the sharp-tongued kid runs off again without saying anything more. Hey, you little brat, I'm not an old man. Oh, boomer. Wow, that works out so well. the timing. I'll have you know. Oh, she stopped. Wow, what the... I should just make a mod for this game that turns that into okay boomer. Oh no. What sort of behavior do you call that? I'd like a word with her parents.
そのセリフ、すっごくおじさんっぽいよ。
Seriously? Maybe I am.
それにあの子、多分だけど、親はいないんじゃないかな。
Huh?
札なしだったかな。
Collarless. Right, they said that. Is that the thing she's wearing? Is it of any importance? Ina mutters his last statement while glancing into the distance where the girl disappeared off to. Nervan mentioned that before too? What does it mean?
みんなね、それぞれ自分の名前が刻まれた札を持ってるの。生まれてから死ぬまでずっと。
Karen didn't take the kids. She is a kid. Ooh. So it's like a form of ID?
ただの証明書じゃないよ。
You can't get a house and you can't get a job. What? But how do I get one then?
仕事にもつけないし。
You wouldn't be able to... Wait. In other words...
アイランドでは人は札で管理されてる。
China alert, China alert. Who's monitoring them? Probably the church. I mean, we've already heard the church has access to the lift. So... Who's monitoring them and why? How long has it been like this? Countless questions are swirling around in my mind. But the one I end up asking is a bit different. You have one too. Wait, that's not the color? Not waiting for a response. Nina pulls down the neckline of her shirt to reveal the base of her throat. There it is, a thin metal band around her neck. 22. How would I even say it? 22,016, and the church has a bigger influence in 2020. Scary. Wow. Engraved on it are various words and symbols. The only part I can make out is her name, Nina Ohara.
これはアイランドの一員だっていう証。命の次に大切なもの。
So if you don't have one, you're kind of screwed.
絶対に失ったらダメなもの。
Just lose them by accident? Like what? What do you mean by that?
成人したら1ヶ月以内に何かの職に就かないと札を没収されちゃうん
Coming
だ。
of age, what does that mean? You've graduate or something? A month? Like, what is this kind of ruling? That's what it means to be colorless? So you have to work if you want to eat. Yeah, but you can't get a job. I guess habitable space and resources are pretty limited here. The island would have to need a solid supply of food and means of producing other daily necessities for a start. And then there's the maintenance the shelter must need and nurturing of the next generation. There are all sorts of jobs to consider. Guess they can't afford to waste food on those unwilling to work. I guess that's so fair. They are kind of stuck in this dome. Assuming there's literally no one else on the planet alive anymore. That's what I'm assuming. Given the planet turned cold. And this was their final resort. Well, the system does make sense. That's what society is, a system. It won't work unless you remove the defective cogs from the machine.
いろんな反対意見もあったらしいんだけど、 アイランドで昔から守られ続けてきたルールだからって一応みんな納得してたんだって。13年前まではね。
13 years ago? 2000 or 2003? Nina's face stiffens or appears to.
13年前急に
I stopped making new colors? Excuse me. Children, what about them? Makes me feel a little ill hearing that. Wait, so that means...
行こう。あなたの札を手に入れに。
Not sure if she didn't hear me or she's just pretending not to. Either way, Nina grabs my hand and sets off. They stopped making them. How can I be... What? They stopped making new colors and then she wants me to get me one? That's not how that works. A grand and imposing building looms over us. The church? Hey. Oh, look at all those people.
今日は東区画の配給日だったっけ?
Black market. Oh, I'm sure there would be actually. There's a small plaza in front of the building where the crowds have all gathered in orderly lines. I wonder if all the colorless people are like their own society. Like they're hiding somewhere. Everyone seems to be carrying a bag or basket of some sort. At the front of each line are several finely dressed women handing out rations to the masses. Something's not right here. Can't quite put my finger on what it is though. Just as the machinery of society needs regular cogs to function, so too are others driven forward by the machine. What? The woman at the front starts speaking to me.
向かって左が第一区画となっております。
私たちは配給じゃなくて。
Woman flashes a glance at my neck.
でしたらどうかお引き取りください。この時間、教会周辺へ近づかれるのは危険です。
The church is indeed ruling, isn't it? She's giving me the cold shoulder. It almost sounds as though the woman views me as a threat. She doesn't sound concerned for my safety.
違うんです。この人は札を再交付してもらいたくて。
Reissue.
再交付?
Woman stares at me. Stares for a while at my features like she's inspecting me. I swear, this Nina mentioned Setsuna before, right? Are those set? Oh yeah, okay, yes. Setsuna's clothing. That's the stuff I'm wearing. Maybe she is then setting me up to reissue the collar for Setsuna. Yes, the clothing. Right. Anyway, the woman stares at me for a while at my features like she's inspecting me. With that, she disappears into the building. What was that? Her attitude did a 180 the moment she saw I didn't have a collar. Sister. Shouldn't you be saying the sisters? You're always like that. Is there... So what's the difference between a nun and a sister? What is the difference? Traditionally, nuns are members of enclosed religious orders and take solemn religious vows, while sisters do not live in the papal enclosure and formerly took vows called simple vows. There's a slight difference. Both nuns and sisters are addressed as sister. Just whatever. I don't, you know what? I don't really care about it. The nuns here are always like that. You're telling me about the church earlier. Just what is... Take another look at the building before me. The facade is white. Though it's fitted with stained glass windows, their color's faded. It certainly looks like a church at first glance. But the design of the cross decorating the front is different to the one I'm familiar with. Where?
教会はね、昔々悪い魔女を退治して アイランドに平和と秩序をもたら
The
したんだ
church
って
was established. Help defeat an evil witch and bring peace and order. We've heard about a witch in the old folktale. Oh. The fishy story if I've ever heard one.
教会の正面にあるのが魔女を封印した棺。開けたら世界が終わるって言われてる。
The casket. Hearing that only makes me want to open it.
ダメだよダメ、殺されちゃうよ。
Scary places. So what was this color reissue you mentioned to her?
教会はね、札の管理もしてるんだよ。配給を受けるのも仕事を探すのも全部ここ。
So the church effectively controls the island. I already said they would, but now it's confirmed.
絶対逆らっちゃダメだよ。札もらえなくなっちゃうよ。
Seems like the people in charge are always bad eggs no matter what area you end up in. Hang on, I thought you said they stopped issuing colors years ago.
それは新しい札の話。教会に没収されちゃった札は申請すれば返してくれるんだよ。
Confiscated, but I've...
私ね、お兄ちゃんがいたんだ。
What? Well, Jack time. Oh, also that's the past tense of had, and yeah, I don't. You know, I'm not gonna post this in Ping Jack. It's the past tense. That's not good. Well, Lena casts her eyes down and tightens her grip on my hand, as if she wants me to console her.
優しくて、かっこよくて、自慢のお兄ちゃんだった。あの頃は、まだ空がオレンジ色に染まる時間があって、私は顔中すすだらけにしたお兄ちゃんが帰ってくるのを
Where
家
must he
の
be
前で待って
working
るの
then?
が好きだったんだ。
She tightens her grip even more.
でもだんだん帰ってくる時間が遅くなってきて、悪い人たちと付き合うようになっちゃって、いつの間にか仕事も辞めてて、家に帰ってくるたびにおじいちゃんと喧嘩してて、
Lena chokes on her words.
最後に会ったのは5年前。
What?
それからずっと行方不明なんだ。
She's gripping my hand ever so tightly, like she wants to tell me never to leave her side. So there was a Setsuna who was her brother 5 years ago left. So if he did get into fights, then he must have gotten into a fight with the church, which is probably I don't know, is it a good thing? Knowing the church is probably the bad guys here. Your brother, his name wasn't...
そう、
She mutters a single word.
刹那。
That's enough. My chest feels tight all of a sudden. I don't know if what I'm feeling is her pain, or if it's something else. Being none the wiser, I pet her gently on the head. Lena.
大丈夫。
He got exiled or executed. You know what? If he didn't manage to run away, but the outside world doesn't exist, does it? So, if he went missing, but if the church executed him, they wouldn't be giving back the collar, right? Because they couldn't reissue the collar because they knew that they killed him. That wouldn't. She looks up at me. There's a fierce light in those eyes.
5年も前のことだもん。もう泣いたりしないよ。
Maybe she's just saying that to look strong. She must be pretty strong if she's able to say something like that out loud.
でね、ここからが本題。札は行方不明になる前に没
Okay,
収されて
before he
るか
went
ら、
missing.
今も教会に残ってる。
They don't know you are Setsuna yet? They don't know that I am Setsuna from 20,000 years ago.
あなたが自分が刹那だって申告すれば返してくれるはずだよ。ここに証人もいるし。
Lena flashes a collar at me. Kinda sounds too good to be true.
あなた次第かな。いくつか質問されると
I don't
思う
know.
けど、
I don't
それ
know
っぽく答えれば
anything
大丈夫。
about Your brother, how am I supposed to act like him? You're telling me to become Setsuna? To wear his mask. Where have I ever done that before?
できる？
Do you even need to ask? Dearest sister, how long these 5 years have been? Dude, alright, whatever. I am sending this one to Jack. Did you call him Ani Ue-sama? What's that mean? Aniue is just older brother, but it's even more respectful language. Glomp? What does that even... Oh, hugging. And Nina and I embrace, ignoring the strange looks from passers-by. Also, what is this?
ダメだ。あなた、下手くそすぎ。
Hey, what about your hammy acting, eh?
まずセリフがダメ。我が妹って。
我が妹。Reading the Japanese lines must have been actually way more funny. How about darling brother? That's way worse. What's up? You have some kind of big brother complex? Nice. That Jack.
違うもん。
Alright, first, let's get our backstory straight. What should I say? What should we say I've been doing for the last 5 years? That the face, yes. The faces in this game are great, dude. Yes, I've been sleeping for the past 5 years. That make me a total slob.
でもお兄ちゃん、仕事がない日は一日中寝てたし。
Sorry, was a slob? Do you have any friends?
友達は少なかったと思うけど。
Gang.
夜になるとよく柄の悪い人たちとどこかに
Can
出
you
かけ
make
て
that
た。
in emote? I probably need to. I should have cropped it a bit bigger then, so that you could make it a square thing. We could crop it from the YouTube video later. Sounds like a real waste of space, alright.
あんまり設定とか気にしなくても大丈夫だよ。
Sort of look like him as...
似てるし。
Isn't she basically saying I look like a hopeless slob? What did you call each other?
私はせつなって呼び捨て。
Not Oni-chan. Well, I guess it's pretty normal. You probably have to be very young to still want to use a cute nickname for your big brother.
せつなは私のことを。
Ina cuts herself short, her eyes sparkling as though she's been hit with an amazing idea.
みんな姫。
Don't get carried away now. You just want me to call you princess.
でもたまにそう呼んでくれてたもん。
Yeah, I can do it from time to time. What did he normally call you?
ただのリンネ。
Okay, same as before then. Hey, Rine.
何？せつな。
That's more like it. Finally getting somewhere, aren't we?
無理に演技とかしない方がいいのかもしれないね。
Only because you're a total ham?
せつなの方が下手くそだったよ。
Nothing is like as bad as you, Princess Rine.
もうせつなの意地悪。
I told you the faces in this game are beautiful. I turn around to find the woman from earlier standing
お
there.
待たせしました。認識表の再交付でしたら中で受けたまわりますのでご案内いたします。
No bully. We didn't get found out, right?
どうされましたか？さあ、私の後についていらしてください。
よかったね。行こう、せつな。
Oh man, I remember. I wonder if it's the same kind of sky as in the because the game had these kinds of sky shots before, but now you can clearly see that it's fake. This one, it's all made of like squares. Nina takes my hand and we set off. Setsuna, huh? Along with the warmth of her hand, the ring of that name is kind of reassuring. No, it's too early to be getting comfortable. Time to see if I really have what it takes to inhabit this new identity. Sure, I can do it. I will become Setsuna. It's almost as if I've tried that before.
刹那さんは登録情報によれば現在25歳のはずですが
Not even close. Do I not look 25?
ひいき目に見ても20歳くらいにしか
But I've been fast asleep for the last 5 years, you
寝る
see.
子は育つということわざをご存知ですか
She's a tough one.
刹那お兄ちゃんは幼かった私にいつも食べ物を譲ってくれて、
Bruh.
そのせいで成長が
She's going for this sob story. It's an inspired move, but
もうちょっと配給が多ければこんなことには
yeah, I can just taste the ham.
食料は神の皆のもとに平等にお配りしておりますが
This screen. Oh no, I wanted to click the X, but look, the poor girl's crying now. Have a heart.
規則ですので
She's standing firm.
お兄ちゃんだもん。この人は私のお兄ちゃんだもん。
Give it up already, you're convincing no one. I've got it, ask me anything, I'll prove that I really am
で
Setsuna.
はご両親のお名前は
Didn't ask about that. Hey, do you know what your
相
parents
談は
called?
禁止です
At this point, it's better if I just say something. I can do it, I'm sure I can. Come on, lady luck, smile at me just this once. Cool no Norimasa, maybe?
記録では母アマラ父ナユタとなっておりますが
Not even
と
close.
いうわけでお引き取りください
Hey, give me one more
で
chance.
は前職は何を
Guess she's throwing me a freebie? If I remember correctly, Dina said her brother used to come home with soot all over his face, which means the answer must be YouTuber, cause Soot House, Wilbur Soot, yeah. I was a chimney sweep.
炭鉱員とありますが
That how did minor not be? How was minor not the first thing? That was the first thing I thought of. Well, it's next
いい加
question.
減お引き取りください
Damn, she won't budge an inch no matter what tricks I try to pull. But there's no way I'm turning back now. And I wish to speak to your manager. I'm not caught. I'm not caught. The girl who ran away. Oh no, we don't actually know her name. That's this world's
あ
whatever.
いにく枢機卿は今留守にされておられます
Cardinal. Cardinal sounds kinda
謁
cool.
見を希望されますかちなみに枢機卿のご予定は5年先まで埋まっております
5
が
years, dude.
行こう。これ以上は時間の無駄だよ。
You went through all this for.
行こう。刹那。
Uh-oh. Nina grabs my hand and trudges
ご
off.
めんね。刹那。
She's still calling me Setsuna even though I've just been denied the right to that name. How on earth am I meant to respond to that? What? An explosion! I feel like it was loud enough to burst my eardrums. I instinctively shield Dina from the smoke that subsequently clouds my vision. Are you okay, Dina?
平気。ありがとう。
And the smoke finally clears. The plaza is in total chaos, panicked crowds running in every direction. People's possessions are being strewn all over the place. The lack of any forethought behind their actions is only deepening the chaos.
いけいけいけ
Huh?
10秒で撤収だ。欲張りすぎんじゃねえぞ。
That's the kid from earlier. Whoa. Children come swooping in from all directions, like bees to honey. Or maybe ants to sugar would be a more appropriate analogy.
そうまたか懲りない奴らめ
Armed men pour out of the church. Wait, they're
神
armed?
の皆のもとに
Oh, what? Crap, a stray bullet. Wait, are those cartridges on the ground? They're using live rounds? What on earth's going on here? What is this island?
撤収撤収だ。
The girls signal, the children disappear from the plaza. Looks like a hurricane has just passed through. But after all the commotion, there's not a single person. Wait. There's a girl collapsed on the ground over there. What kind of sound is that supposed to be? Also, I rush over and kneel down beside her. No injuries as far as I can see. Maybe she just lost consciousness. Hey, are you okay? Can you hear me? Her breathing shallow, her eyes open a crack. She's alive, thank goodness. Can you hear me? You're caught up in an explosion. She's wearing robes. Is she part of the church? Try not to move. I'll get someone from the church right away. The girl's legs quiver as she tries to stand. I scramble to catch her before she topples over. Hey, are you sure you're okay? I'm glad you can't hear the guitar that's playing in the background right now. Or maybe only when I speak. She flashes me a sweet smile. A lovely, heartwarming smile. I noticed something else from the way I have to hold her up. I don't know. Your boobs are massive. I mean, MC. Whoops, I can't believe I ended up actually blurting that out. Sorry, that's not what I meant. The face is in this game. She glares at me reproachfully. I was just an innocent, admiring the beauty of the female form, nothing more. Though I'd like to I'm gonna just skip. Oops, I said too much again. This game. I hate this game. No, the problem is with me having to say all these words that could definitely be used for bad things. Wait, just let me explain. If you'd only give me an hour to describe my intense devotion to your breasts, I'm sure you'd... Why? There's nothing wrong with boobs, nothing wrong. They transcend all the concept of good and evil. I'm gonna die, dude. Take this. Nina grabs my arm in a huff. Linking arms with her when she's in this mood doesn't feel so great. Nothing. She seems to be comparing her figure with the other girls in some displeasure. Oh shit! Can we get a free pass? If she is the Cardinal's daughter? Church, that would make sense. They were a shrine in the other... I mean... This world has nothing to do with the other one, so... I don't know, a shrine and a church. And roughly the same thing. Has something to do with religion. Garland. Girl and I exchange a glance. The next moment she averts her gaze. Has she heard my name before? Does she know me? I mean Setsuno? I wasn't ogling her? Hey Nina, wait up, don't leave me behind. At least tell me why you're so mad. Hearing a voice behind me, I stopped to turn around. Right. Since you're probably the daughter of the Cardinal, give me my color. How about that? It's alright, really, don't worry about it, I didn't really do too much. Give me my color. Her gaze comes to rest at my neck.
ガーランド枢機卿の娘 サラ・ガーランドですから。
Sarah Garondo. How was that pronounced?
サラ・ガーランドですから。
Garondo Sarah. Haha, funny. We have to settle the question. Who knows? The world's Sarah Garland are engraved on her collar. They glimmer in the light. Oh, now I can see the color at last. That's what it looks like? Dude, that reminds me of The World God Only Knows, dude. I've been led back inside the church and instructed to sit and wait. It sure is taking a while. Dina opted to wait outside. Maybe she was unhappy about something. Was it?
はい、何か？
Sarah stops writing and looks up from her paperwork, causing her wild hair to sway about. The main marker of a superior... What? What? The main marker of a superior pair of breasts is their heft when held, evident in the way they hang. I'm sorry, MC, what are you saying? It took me a moment to realize what I was talking about. Sarah goes back to scribbling away with her fountain pen. She really does have an effortless grace to her in writing. Shame she let her real self show through earlier.
お待たせしました。これで手続きは完了です。それではこちらがあなたの認識表になります。
That's awesome. I did say so. Maybe I've seen the anime, wink wink. To be honest, I don't actually remember this. Like, well, I remember the characters because they are. I don't remember the exact events though from the anime, but she delicately hands over the metal collar. Who would have thought it would have been this easy for me to get my hands on one?
どうぞお受け取りください、せつなさん。
Setsuna, I guess that's my new name now. How do I... Oops. You see, it's been 5 years. I've totally forgotten how to put it on.
めったに付け外しはしませんからね。
It looks like I managed to fool her.
簡単ですよ。後ろにあるロックを外して、こうやって。
Perhaps it's made of a shape memory alloy or something, but the color softens in Sarah's hands.
失礼しますね。
Huh? She fastens it from the front, her arms around my neck as though embracing me.
はい、終わりました。
Oh, I thought that was gonna go into another... Before I know it, the color is fastened around my neck. Wow.
サイズの微調整も可能です。指が2本入るくらいがちょうど。あれ？どうされました？
You smell kinda nice. What?
またセクハラですか？
Bruh. Oh, you're right, my bad. Have I even watched it? I've watched it 1.5 years ago at this point. And... I just don't remember all the small details. Anyway.
ああ、いえ、私の方こそ軽薄な行動を。
The two of us look down at the floor. It's strange, I feel like the distance between us is closing up. It reminds me, you had a curious look in your face when you heard my name back there. Why is that?
失礼しました。初対面の方にぶしつけな視線を。ただの人違いです。セツナという名前の方は珍しくありませんから。
That because of the legend. I'm referring to the tale Lena told me, the old love story. The woman's name was Nina and the man's must have been...
伝承？ああ、聖典のことですね。
Scriptures?
ご存知ないのですか？セツナというのは聖人の名前ですよ。
A saint.
そして聖人の教えを守り語り継ぐのがこの教会の務めなんです。
That Setsuna is a saint? And... Well, I'm so unworthy. I'll try my best to live up to his name.
はい、頑張りましょう。
She beams wholeheartedly at me.
というわけで次はセツナさんのお仕事についてですが。
I need a job, don't I?
頑張りましょう。
I figured as much.
以前働かれていた炭鉱は残念ながら現在は閉鎖されているようですね。セツナさん、お体は丈夫な方ですか？
The only thing I've eaten in the last 20,000 years is some bread. So, I mean, nope, I was on the verge of death not long ago.
日曜学校卒業時の総合ランクは C とありますが、
Oh, we're on to my education. I'd say it's about high school level.
高校
Oh, never mind.
では特定職種への就業資格は
Can handle any kind of housework you throw at me?
特にお持ちではないようですね。
She's not even listening anymore. Sarah takes a deep breath and snaps the register shut.
申し訳ありませんが、すぐにご紹介できるお仕事は
Am
な
I
さ
gonna
そう
be
です。
jobless, dude? I am just a total slob.
明日またいらしていただけますか？せつなさんにふさわしいお仕事を見つけておきますので。
What if I don't show up?
1週間後には怖いお兄さんたちが家にやってきて、認識票をお預かりすることになります。
Bruh. It better be there.
明日は午後から南地区の配給がありますので、できれば午前のうちにお越しください。近頃は何かと物騒ですので。
With the explosion, Sarah's expression clouds. Yeah, it was all the commotion about outside.
配給の時間を狙った強奪です。他の生活物資はともかく、食料だけは配給でしか手に
Oh,
入れられ
food
ません
rations
か
can
ら。
only be obtained from the church. The church controls your food supply, and if you don't follow the church's orders, you lose your access to food. Dude, the church is some right. What kind of world they live in? Still, isn't this a bit much going at them with live ammunition? They were just kids.
ただの威嚇ですよ。誰も人を殺したいだなんて思っていません。そう、誰も。
Sarah casts her eyes down again and falls silent. I'm not sure how true that is, but she seems to think that it is at least. But those men I saw back there, that's right, people's lives come first.
はい。
Well, it looks like I have you to thank for a bump to my own lifespan anyway.
いえ、私は当然のことをしたまでです。
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that because the woman from earlier.
ですが、
Her lips form a little smile.
そう言っていただければ何よりです。
I know that look all too well. It's the look of someone who's struggling to match their ideals to reality. Sarah escorts me outside the church building. Sorry for all the trouble. You've really helped me out.
いえ、神は頼る者を拒みませんから。
You say that, but the previous... Looks like she's safely back into work mode. I see you tomorrow, Sarah.
お待ちしております、せつなさん。
I watch as she disappears into the church. Sarah Garland? Sarah Garland, huh? It was pretty interesting, especially in the chat. Bruh.
も
Well, you've been here the whole time, didn't you?
う遅いよ。中で何してたの？
Nothing, just boring old paperwork.
なんか仲良くなってるし、浮気してたの？
Cheating on who? On who? You know some very grown-up words, don't you? Aren't you a clever girl? I give her beheaded head a vigorous rub.
子供じゃないもん。もう成人。
Oh, really? Wearing your big girl panties? What? Sure there isn't a diaper under there? Jesus. Rub.
よくわからないけど、バカにしないで。
Sorry, you're right. Rub.
グリグリも禁止。
He bats my hand away. Wow.
その首のってもしかして。
Yes. Oh, this, I got my collar, no problem.
すごい。おめでとう、せつな。
Frown on her face. Now a thing of the past, Dina gives me a tight hug around the waist.
一緒だね。
She takes out her own collar to show me. What's she so happy about anyway?
これで家族だね。せつな。
Family? Dina points at her own collar.
リンネ、オハ
Then to
ラ。
mine.
せつな、オハラ。
On paper, we're family. Both collars bear the name Ohara, or bear the Ohara family name. What was that sound? That's great. I see. We both share the same surname now. Yeah, I guess we're family. Nah. I thought it was all out of my reach, being called family, living under the same roof. But I was wrong. Even someone like me who's lost everything can still have a family. Well, a brother and sister at least.
兄弟だと何かダメなの？
Oh, nothing. Can't wish for anything more than this. No, things are fine the way they are now. Setsuno Hana. That name alone is a wonderful gift greater than I deserve.
で、仕事は？
Uh...
見つからなかったの？なんで？どうして？
Oh, Nina, you're so pure-hearted, it almost pains me.
早く見つけないとまた札没収されちゃうよ。
It's okay, I'll definitely find one tomorrow.
そうだよね。私信じてるよ、せつな。
I'll do my best. At this point, if I just do what I can to meet her expectations. Oh wow, this world, they just flick the lights off. What's this, another attack?
あ、もう夜なんだ。やっぱり最近早いな。もう。
Even the church controls when nighttime is, or what? Or is it just, you know, adjusting to daylight? Because you can't see the daylight, right? There's no daylight. Nighttime. I look up. The sky, bright blue just a moment ago, is now a sea of stars. This is nighttime.
夜。アイランドには昼と夜があるんだよ。
The stars attached to the smooth domed ceiling don't twinkle. In fact, there's something oddly disturbing about them.
早く帰ろう、せつな。
I can see why Dean is in such a rush. Right, I'm not in any mood for a stroll, not under a sky like this.
そうじゃなくて、門限破ったらおじいちゃんに怒られちゃう。
Oh no. Oh yeah, that won't be pretty. Let's hurry then. Dina takes my hand and strides off. Wait, what? Hey Dina,
何？せつな。
what about your granddad? Her response comes so naturally. It's as though we've always been family. But if I'm not the real Setsun, I'm not real family. Just happened to get my hands on some stranger's ID. I've never met the guy. Do you think Nerva will be okay with me coming back to yours?
大丈夫だよ。おじいちゃん、札なしが嫌いなだけだから。
Oh really? But what if he sees that suddenly I have the... Is it really alright for me to just... So long as he doesn't read the name on my collar, it'll be fine. But if she calls me Sets, I don't even know how she's gonna explain this, but whatever. Is it really alright for me to just move in with you guys?
じゃあ、お土産を買っていこう。
Imagine they commissioned a mediocre artist for the sky and its meh quality, and now they're just kind of stuck with that. I don't think that'll solve the problem.
大丈夫、大丈夫。私を信じて。
Frankly, I don't have much faith. Though I did somehow manage to get myself a color in the end. Having come this far, maybe it's not a bad idea to do as she says. Who has any money, though, to get a present?
おじさん、まだやってる？
ああ、ごめんな、リンネちゃん。今日はもう店じまいなんだ。
ケチ、まだここに並んでるのに。
最近教会の連中がうるさくてさ、時間外に営業してると目をつけられちまうんだよ。
Ina puffs out her cheeks like a blowfish. From what he's saying, I assume he's the owner of this stall. What is it he's meant to be selling? There's all sorts of bric-a-brac laid out the front of the store, but I have no idea what any of it's for.
じゃあ、特別にいいものあげる。
Ina fishes out around in her pouch and takes out a cylindrical object.
電池、まだ使える
A
よ。
battery.
おお、これは珍しい。
Rare.
本当にもらっていいのかい？
もちろん、私とおじさんの仲だからね。
まったく、リンネちゃんは商売上手だ。負けたよ。何でも好きなもの買っていくといい。何が欲しい？
ビール。
Bruh. I'm sorry. There's just one thing I kind of have to do. Where is it? What do I do? Give me a second. I'm doing something extremely important. This is such a dumb thing I'm doing. I'm totally gonna forget to like cut this out of the YouTube thing, so if you're watching this on YouTube somehow, then just skip forward. There we go. Almost done, almost done. Expecting memes. I'll post it in memes. Here we go. Enjoy. Now I kind of have to put this on stream, don't I? I have to show that on stream now. I couldn't not do that. Give me a second. On stream / the YouTube video that ends up on YouTube. If anyone's watching this in 5 years' time. Zun would be proud, oh my god. Oh yes. Alright.
ネハンさんへのプレゼント？また何か怒られるようなことしたのかい？ビル。ネハンさんへのプレゼント？
What?
また何か怒
How
ら
do
れ
you
るような
pronounce
こと
that?
したのかい？ネハンさんへのプレゼント？
Nehang? I don't even know what that whatever. I'll just ignore that. Beer. One more? Wait.
そんなところビールビールビールビールそんなところ
Whatever. Beer. God damn it. Oh my god. I have to post this on my Twitter as well. I'm just going all out
な
now.
ら銘柄はこれがいいかな。何本にする？
3本やっぱり4本
What? You're not gonna drink, are you?
奮発するね。
You're going all out.
だって
Okay.
今日は特別な日だもん
For beer. I smile across the endearing figure of Nina, her chest swelling with pride.
特別な日？
Stall owner notices me and throws me a glance my way.
おお、リネちゃんにもついに彼氏ができたのか。
What?
彼氏
I mean, how are you gonna explain
そんなの
this?
じゃないよ
じゃああれだ。二人でネハンさんに結婚の申し入れに行くつもりなんだな。
Come again?
そういやリネちゃん成人したんだったっけ？あの小さかったリネちゃんが、なんだか感慨深い
13
な。
though.
やっぱりお母さんと同じで壮婚なんだな。
What? Hey, do you know what this guy ranting on about?
アイランドでは13歳で結婚できるんだよ
Wait, is that even okay?
もちろん兄弟は結婚できないよ
I don't know what you're implying, but you can't rest easy. I'm a boob man. Or you can rest easy. I'm a boob man. Wow. Why is she angry again?
あれもしかして君って
Pierce the collar around my neck. Oh, this is bad.
刹那君？
Yes, of course. I am. I must be. He totally doesn't know me, hopefully.
やっぱり刹那君だ。ずっと行方不明だった。
Whoa, the English added a ton to that sentence. Do I actually resemble your brother?
かっこよくて優しいところだけ。
Well, it has been 5 years, so I guess only his family would remember what he actually looked like, including granddad. But how about that?
挨拶挨拶。
Hi, I'm Setsuna.
声変わった？
Oh, you see,
何にせよこりゃめでたい。よし、おじさんからの家だ。一本おまけしてやろう。
Have a merry old time with your gramps. He good-naturedly lines up 5 bottles of beer in front of us.
お会計1200万円ね。
Whoa.
あ、お小遣いピンチだったっけ？足りるかな？
たく、今日は出血大サービスだ。1000万円で持ってけ泥棒。
Maybe it's just some sort of comedy routine the two of them have.
ありがとうおじさん。大好き。
The heart, there it is. Tina joyfully takes out a wad of bills and starts counting them. Whoa, she's loaded. That one needs 1 million yen.
9、10。
1 million yen would be a lot in old, like, I don't know anything about their currency at this point. 1 million? That's like 10,000 euros? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So that's about 8,500 euros. $9.5 thousand United States dollar. Yeah, inflation. Fair. That's exactly because, you know.
毎度。
はい、刹那は荷物持ち。
Link. Before I even know what's going on, I'm cradling 5 bottles of beer in my arms.
さ、うちに帰
But
ろ
I
う。
have to go down in that path and vertigo, fear of heights. There's so much to unpack from the whole exchange, but I'll start simple. So, Nervan-san likes this beer.
うん、大好き。これでどんなお願いでも聞いてくれるんだ。
たったビール5本でこの馬の骨をうちに置け？ふざけるのもいい加減にしろ。
who would have seen that one coming? He's not listening at all.
だいたいなんだその札は。あのバカ孫の顔を思い出してかなわんわ。
Uh-oh.
まあおじいちゃん、とりあえず飲もう。
Crack one open with the boys.
何度もその手が通用すると思うか？
How did she think that was gonna work?
この間だって小汚いネズミを拾ってきよってからに。
ネズミじゃないもん、モルモットだもん。
モルモット。
同じようなものだろう。わしには見分けもつかんかったわ。
尻尾のないネズミはいいネズミなの。
まあ確かにそこらのネズミよりは肉付きが良くて油もの。
最初分かっていいって言ってくれたのに、ひどいよ。
弱肉強食は自然の摂理だ。
弱肉強食。I know that word now because of the animal school anime. 弱肉強 I already forgot how to pronounce it. Wait. Sorry. I now know. I've heard the word, so if I ever hit
弱肉強食は
弱肉強食. It's funny. It literally translates to the weak are meat and the strong eat. Yeah, the weak are meat and the strong eat. That's kind of a Japanese phrase for survival of the fittest. There are multiple ways to say survival of the fittest in Japanese though, but this is one I've heard now, and one I'll probably gonna use forever. I find it so funny. It's so literal.
バカはどっちだ。全く気が知れん。
Rations to a rat. Oh.
ネズミなんぞに与え続けるなんて。
モルモット。
I thought they were arguing over me.
しかしネズミの次は人間とはな。お前はいつになったら常識というものを学んでくれるんだ、リン。わしが万が一首を縦に振ったところで 部屋はどうするつもり
On
だ
the floor?
それは
Oh,
刹那が
fair.
使ってた部屋を
お前が集めた妙ちきなガラクタで埋まってるじゃないか。
the face.
相変わらず考えなしだな。まったく誰に似たのやら。
よくお母さんに似てるって言われるけど
中身はどう考えてもナユタの方だ。うちの男はどいつもこいつもバカばっかりだからな。
バカじゃないもん。
うん、何か言ったか。
お父さんも刹那もバカじゃないもん。バカはおじいちゃんだけだもん。行こう刹那。バカじいの言うことなんか無視して私の部屋で寝ればいいよ。
Hey.
刹那こいつが
Everyone looks me dead in the eye.
リンネよ、まったくお前はどうかしているな。刹那はとっくの昔に。
分かってる
Nina pounds the table, interrupting Nervan-san.
もん。だって私バカじゃないもん。なのにどうしていちいちそういうこと言うの？バカじい。
Pretty sure that's her last word in this argument.
バカじいなんて死んじゃえ。
Oof. Without even waiting for a reply, Nina flies out the front door.
やれやれ。
Yada yada does it. Nervan-san shuts the door after her and heaves a huge sigh. Are you just gonna leave her?
人事みたいに言うな。お前が元凶だろ
The faces 10 out of 10. I know I said that before. The faces in this game are amazing. I'm pretty sure most of that had nothing to do with me though.
う。何？いつものことだ。小一時間もすれば戻ってくるだろ
I glance at the door. I notice it's left unbolted.
う。探しに行きたけりゃ行くがいい。どうせそこらで拗ねているだけだ。が、その前に。
Pulls a bottle open from nowhere and pops the cap off a bottle of beer.
夜は冷える。体を温めてからにしておけ。
Oh.
あいつは昔からでな。どこからともなく妙ちきなもんを拾ってきては溜め込む癖があるんだ。子供のすることだと多めに見てりゃ今じゃあのありさまだ。一体どこで育て方を間違えたのやら。
Why am I listening to this drunk old fogey gripe about his endless problems?
なんだお前ちっとも飲んでないじゃないか。くせに下戸か。
That would be so me. Just keeping quiet is enough to start a quarrel, it would seem.
遠慮するな。飲め飲め。嫌なことは飲んで忘れるに限る。
It's okay, I don't have anything I want to forget.
嘘をつけ。人間生きてりゃ嫌なことなんて5万とある。
I look down at my mug filled to the brim with beer. Well, I guess it's just beer. Glug blah.
バカもん。貴重なビールを無駄にするとは何事だ。
Beer, this swill. There's no foamy head, no flavor to speak of. What is this, vodka? Shochu? No, nothing that fancy. There's no mistaking the stench of alcohol. This is just crappy industrial ethanol? I'm sorry. Can you... No. Diluted? Hopefully?
まったく最近の若いもんは
Is it just diluted
ビールの
ethanol?
モメントはな。
Everson takes another swig. If he's not just joking around, then this must be what people here call beer. Don't drink so much, old man. It'll ruin your health.
どうせ長生きなどできん。こんな腐った世の中じゃな。
I mean, you're a granddad. I don't know.
それにわしは十分生きた。孫が成人する姿を見られたんだからな。
Say that, but she's still a child. Just the two of you here, right? At least stick around long enough to see her find happiness with someone.
見たくもないわそんなもん。あいつが連れてくる男なんてどうせろくでもないやつに決まっとるん。
He spits this out while chewing on some sort of jerky. Wait, what's the jerky made of?
食うか。
No, I was just...
食える時には食って体力をつけておけ。今度どこかで行き倒れたら 二度とうちの敷居はまたがせん。
Oh, is he okay with this? Huh? So you're letting me stay?
わしがいつおかんと言った。
A whole bunch of times. You're planning to fatten me up so you can eat me?
お前、わしを何だと思っている。
You ate Nina's pet guinea pig.
ありゃ寒さで勝手に落ちんでたんだ。わしはあいつが悲しまんように嘘をついただけだ。
That was all a lie.
人にはな、誰かのために嘘をつかねばならん時がある。
You're trying to act all smooth for it. That kind of lie isn't cool, no matter how you look at it.
食いつなぐためには死肉を貪らねばならん時もな。
Have you really eaten people?
さてな、 わしが子供の頃は捕まえてきたネズミに子作りさせて増やしてたな。
No more. I don't want to hear any more gross war stories or
あの
whatever.
頃はとにかく悲惨だった。奪い奪われは日常茶飯事。
This world's really gone to shit.
ガーランド派が台頭してからは平和なもんだ。こうしてビールも飲めるしな。
Diluted ethanol.
だが平和はやがて人を腐らせる。そんな時代に生まれたのがリンネだ。あいつは世の中を知らんただの甘ったれだ。
Was that lie meant to teach Nina how harsh the real world can be? Nina showed me around today like she was presenting her prized herbaceous borders. However shocking I found the spectacles we encountered, Nina was all smiles, as if you were simply a matter of course to her. But it's not like she's a complete airhead or anything. From her attitude, sometimes you'd never guess that Nina was only 13. Whether it's this island itself, or the colorless kids, or the people at the church, or even the guy at the stall, she knows exactly when to keep her distance and when to get friendly, depending on the person she's dealing with. Whether she's conscious of it or not, it's a wise survival tactic. You just grew up in a different age, that's all. That's what we all say. The newer generation. Everyone presses her lips together distastefully and breathes a deep sigh.
年寄りに今の若者を理解しろというのは無理な注文だな。年寄りにできるのは自らの経験を語って聞かせることだけ。ただそれだけだ。まったくろくでもない男だな、わしも。
What sound is that's not he grumbles some more, then opens another bottle. That sound, I don't even know what to say to that sound, but whatever. He's into his third now. Is he going to be okay?
置いてやるとは言ったが、わしはお前を家族と認めたわけじゃない。わしの家族はリンネだけだ。
Everyone else is dead? I fingered the unfamiliar color of my neck again. I understand, Nervan-san. I won't disrupt your way of life, Ordinez. I polish off the rest of the beer left in my mug. God, that's bad.
ちゃんとうちに金を入れろよ。
How much?
1日1000万だ。無理なら去れ。
I don't know how much that is. That's it? No second chances? I'll manage.
それと、
There's more?
わしのことはネハンと呼べ。
Nihon?
若婿を思い出したかなわ。
Nihon. Yes. I'm just gonna call it Nervan, whatever. Nervan. Oh.
飲んだらさっさと行け。孫娘を通しさせる気か。
He's practically shooing me out of the door now. He was the one who invited me to drink with him in the first place. What a selfish old coot. Well, not that I mind. I'm lost. Every house looks identical, and there are countless narrow alleyways leading off to God knows where. There's no one around to ask for directions either. Niffle. No, I'm not crying, I'm just freezing cold. Oh well, I guess it's come to this. Nina! Yeah, this is the only way. This is the way to go. Pride? I tossed that aside a long time ago. Nina! Right on cue, a man appears from down a back alley. Thank goodness someone's here. Excuse me, I got kind of lost. Could you show me the way to the Ohara desu? He takes one look at me and flees. Is he running away?
こうたの 5000万か、しけてんな。
Tough times. What's going on? First a man comes out the alley and now a young girl.
金持ちそうに見えたんだが、やっぱ西じゃ稼げねえ
Bruh,
な。
she robbed him? She stuffs the wads of bills into her pouch and spits on the ground.
たく、これっぽっちじゃあいつらに。
I don't have any money on me. Like she's seen me.
なあなあ、おっさん、今いくら持ってる？
The face. That's so great. I love this game, dude. Is she out hunting for a sugar daddy? I'm not an old man.
じゃあパパがいいか？それともお兄ちゃん？
Oh, this game. Papa, Oni-chan. She's clutching my arm.
あんた手ってなってえな。ほら、こっち来いって温めてやるよ。
Oh my god, this game. Why is she leading me down that back alley?
何コースがいい？松、竹、梅、他にもいろいろあるぞ。
I have no idea what those are, but I have a bad feeling about all of
ど
them.
うした？こういうの初めてか？
No, I don't have any
じ
money.
ゃあ一番安いやつで決定な。
Can't escape. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're talking about, and I'm kind of afraid to think about what's going on. No, I don't really have any time on me right now
5
either.
分、いや、3分で済むからさ。
Sounds sort of tempting now.
天国、連れてってやるよ。
Nope, never mind.
あ、一応聞いとくけど、最後に風呂に入ったのは？
I don't remember. The girl stops in her tracks. Oh, could this be my chance to make a run for it?
1週間くらいならなんとか。
I'm feeling it's closer to 20,000 years.
頑張る。
Seriously? I'm the music is kind of happy, so I'm kind of I'm not sure what this is about, but I can think about what this is about, but she stood stock still. It doesn't look like she's going to make a move anytime soon. Oh no. Hey, is it really bad enough to cry over? In any case, she's let go of my arm, trying to take my leave. Sorry, I really am flat broke. Ask someone else. Why am I the one apologizing? Can't just ignore a kid when she's crying her eyes out. Oh yeah, I might get some starting money, or get some money starting tomorrow. I don't want anything for it, just wait here tomorrow if you want some.
バカにすんじゃねえよ。
Hmm?
私は小じきじゃねえ。札なしだからって見下してんじゃねえよ。教会に飼いならされた犬が。
Take another look at the girl. She's covered in dirt, and her clothes are full of holes. Her hair is matted with grease. Her face is mucky and slick with tears. And her neck is missing a color. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. Ah, were you the one out in front of the church today? The look in her eyes changes instantly.
見てたのか。
There's a butterfly knife in her grip. Wait, a knife?
殺せ。
Kashing. Whoa, that was close. I'm still in one piece, but my jacket wasn't so lucky.
見られたからには生かしておけねえな。天国連れてってやるよ。
Told you I'm flat broke. She actually said I'm going to take you to heaven or something in the Japanese one.
ダチンはナイフのサビで十分だ。
Beep.
おとなしくしてろよ。一瞬で行かせてやるから。
I'm backed into a corner. When did that happen? Is this it? Is there any way out? God help me. Thud, thud.
大変大変。教会の巡回が早く逃げなきゃ。
Church patrol. I'm a different girl this time.
あれ？何してるのこれ？
Karin. Yes, Karin.
命拾いしたな。
Padding turns away and flees the scene. Thank God.
が絶対殺す。首洗って待ってるよ、ふにゃちん
What the?
野郎。
Eve.
あと風呂にも入
The girl vanishes into the darkness. There's a knife in the spot where she'd just been standing. She let her knife here. Seems too large for a child to wield. Pick it up and tilt my head to one side. And then cutting Kurtz is etched into the blade. What was her name again? Kurutsu? That would be pronounced the same way in Japanese. Yeah, yeah. Cutting Kurtz. So she was the girl I bumped into at the park. And also the one giving orders to the kids at the church. She's the daughter of our chancellor. Your chancellor is called Kurtz. We seem to keep running into each other somehow, but before that though, Bochu? Oh, that was a sneeze. Where it's freezing. I just want to go home and take a nice hot bath. Not long after that, a man in church robes finds me and escorted me back to the Ohara residence. Along the way, he gave me a gentle talking to about licensing diseases. I'm pretty sure there's been a grave misunderstanding. In the end, he patted me on the shoulder and said he'd introduce me to a good place next time. What? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what this is all about. Let's when asked if that sort of thing was allowed for a man of God, he laughed and told me he was just a guard. When he then launched into a passionate spiel about a brothel specializing in more mature women, housewives. Well, what I was thinking about probably was right then. Though I don't remember much of it since that's not really my cup of tea. Still, what a dangerous place this is. Didn't think that simply walking down the street could get you killed. Really though, I'm more worried about Nina, who went wandering off outside on her own. Still, she did say she was born and raised here, so I doubt she'd venture into any treacherous places like that. Well, I was out almost getting killed, so yeah, she's here. I'm just getting some fresh air, that's all. Couldn't bring myself to admit I got lost looking for her, so I ended up lying. That's not the kind of story I want to tell a kid. Never mind me. You were able to patch things up with Nirvan? Bruh. Taking a glimpse at the table, I spot 5 empty bottles lying on their sides. He's a sad drunk then. It's a vicious circle. He smiles cheerfully and directs her gaze to the door at the back. Peaceful snoring rings out from inside. Ina rolls up her sleeves and begins collecting the cups and plates that were left on the table. Let me help. These bottles, where should I dispose of them? Right, fair. 50,000 for one bottle? Definitely seems that things are priced a bit differently here. When I hear a huge number like that, I just start sweating all of a sudden. Eek. My boy. Ah! The bottle smashes to pieces at my feet. 50,000 yen gone in an instant. I'll work like a dog for the rest of my life. Please don't sell my organs on the black market. Jesus. Before I know it, I'm down on my knees, my head on the ground. Ina starts sweeping up the glass, not the slightest hint of distaste showing in her face. On her face, sorry. Suddenly takes my hand and puts my thumb to her lips. Just leave it, it's dirty. Uh-oh. She's an angel. Wonder what she did to it. When I get my thumb back, I notice it stopped bleeding. There's a similar scar on the same digit. Oh, right. Oh, man. Oh, right. It's been so long ago. Right. This hasn't happened before, right?
刹那の部屋はここ。
And this time it wasn't really a flashback to an alternate universe. This was an actual flashback because he'd been asleep for 20,000 flippin' years. Rina's voice brings me back to reality. She gestures to the door between her room and Nervan's. Looks like this will be my place from now on. Look, I can't even see the floor. The moment I open up the door, venom junk spills out around my feet. What was that you were saying about there being enough space to sleep?
間違えちゃった。刹那の部屋はここね。
No, that's yours.
大丈夫、大丈夫。昔は2人で使ってたもん。
Think. We're brother and sister, though. You only met me today.
今夜だけだから我慢して。
I'm only going to make things more difficult at this rate.
一夜限りの関係だから。
Where did you hear that word from?
おじいちゃんが話してくれたおとぎ話に出てくる。
What have you been teaching your old man? Wait, she must be talking about a tale from the scriptures, right? Their holy text is the Kama Sutra.
でね、13歳から結婚できるってのもおとぎ話から来てるんだって。
Now I get why people's values here feel a little off.
じゃあ決まりだね。油はもったいないから早く寝ちゃおう。
It's almost as if people are basing their lives off of some scriptures in a book from however long ago. That is one of my kind of problems with religion. That's the fact that I'm not religious. Or one of the reasons why I'm not religious. Myself. It seems that like Nina misunderstood my response and now she's steering the conversation away from that topic. I'm getting the sense that her values might be even more skewed than most. Well, I'm going to be a part of the household from now, so when in Rome, as they say. I don't know what that means. Do you mind if I take a bath first? I'm actually really cold.
お風呂？とっくに閉まってると思うよ。
There isn't a bath in this house.
それに高いよ、お風呂は。
Oh, jeez.
一回
Right.
400万円
Right.
するんだよ。
Because water and... What kind of services do they offer?
すっごいよ。
Gulp.
なんと、冷えたお水が飲み放題。
Yeah. That's supposed to be amazing. Well, in a world where water is probably very scarce, you know, and...
だからたまにしか行っちゃダメ。私は週に1回って決めてるよ。
No, come on, that's unhygienic.
そうかな。
Oof. Nina takes inside a check and sniffs at it.
普通だと思うけど、それに刹那だってまだ
Look,
全然臭く
The
は。
thing is, in a world like, I can understand it like this. She suddenly buries her face into my chest.
わあ、何これ。すっごい石鹸の匂い。
Do you know what soap is, though? Really, I don't know about that.
すごいすごい。こんなの初めて。
I've never smelled this before, but you know what soapy smells? You know what soap smells like, but you haven't smelled anything like this before. Nina nuzzles me? Uh-oh. Sniffing away. This is kind of ticklish. Starts playing the Matsuri Fubuki video. Oh no, I have to play that on stream, don't I? It cracks me up every time I watch it. It's so funny. It's a copy pasta from the Familiar of Zero. Louisa Francoise, whatever. Louisa was copy pasta. It's a Japanese copy pasta. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh man. I need to make this with something. I should turn this I should make my own version of this. I don't know which character from anything to use. What about Nepgear or something? Louisa Leblanc de la Valliere. What was her name again? Louisa Françoise Leblanc de la Valliere or something? Full name. I still need to watch the other seasons of The Familiar of Zero. Anyway, I'm sorry, I have to like replay this. You perv, wow.
ケチンボ。
She's puffing her cheeks out again.
もしかしてセツナってどこかの国の王子様？
The thing is, that's gonna be the last time you're gonna be smelling that, just saying. Wasn't aware the royalty had a distinct body odor.
変な服も着てたし、
I'd say the clothes I'm wearing now are weirder.
常識もないし。
Like you're one to talk. Wonder if I can live alongside this weirdo for the rest of my life. In this world, I am the weirdo though. The thought kind of gives me goosebumps.
セツナは奥、私は手前ね。
Against the wall. Look at the cave rock. I hope it's... Is it rock or sand? Oh. He points at the single bed like it's completely natural arrangement. I'm afraid I'll have to decline.
遠慮しないで。このベッド、セツナのお下がりだから。
I wasn't refusing because of that.
昔は一緒に寝てたのに。
That wasn't me. I told you.
うん
I feel like I've hit on a sore subject. She's getting way too close to me for comfort. I wonder what Nervin would say if he saw me in a bed with his granddaughter. The problem is because she's so young, she probably is gonna start her like to assume that I'm actually Setsuna again or something.
あれ、おじいちゃんのこと呼び捨てだったっけ？やっ
Told me to drop the sun when we were drinking earlier.
たね。おめでとうセツナ。
What? Did what?
お父さんが初めてうちに来た時にもね、おじいちゃんにそう言わ
I
れ
guess
たん
told
だ
my
って。
dad the exact same thing.
あの時も一晩でビール5本も飲んでご機嫌だったんだって。
So
同じだね、京都。
does that mean he's acknowledged me?
次の日にはお前なんか知らんって怒鳴られたらしいけど。
That's no good at all. Anyway, the floor will do fine. Just give me a blanket.
やだよ、寒いもん。
Then what do you suggest?
セツナは奥、私は手前。
What does that mean? Find those my clothes there. I'll just lay them on the floor. This book will do as a pillow and.
あ、無視した。
Okay, good night. I sweep the junk on the floor to the edge of the room and then flop down in the empty space. Ugh, the chill of the floor penetrates right through my clothes.
うん
Thud. Suddenly something soft and warm smothers my entire body. Is this a blanket? I go to investigate
今夜だけ貸してあげる。
and find Nina sulking. Wonder what she really means. I've clearly upset her somehow, though I don't really understand why.
いい？明かり消すよ。
She goes to extinguish the flame of the oil lamp before I've had a chance to say anything. With a poof, the room is shrouded in darkness. It's pitch black, not even a stray beam of moonlight through the window. There is a window in this room? Mind telling me where? And I'm stuck in an uncomfortably hard floor. On an uncomfortably hard floor with only a thin, moldy blanket for cover. Ooh. All right above me, I can hear the sound of someone tossing and turning incessantly. Feels strangely nostalgic, but I have no idea what this reminds me of, which I find weirdly frustrating. Nina.
何？セツナ。
No. What was I going to say? You are cold. I'll give you my blanket back.
ううん、大丈夫。セツナがいてくれるだけで、いつもよりあったかいから。
Setsuna, huh? Hey, Nina. You understand, don't you? I'm not Setsuna. I'm about to put this on her, but then panic and bite my tongue. It's not worth getting into. She may seem a bit lacking in common sense, but she's no idiot. See you again tomorrow. More Nina sleeping sounds. He's already asleep. Not a care in the world. But, good night, Nina. I have someone to say good night to. Someone I'm sure I will be I have someone to say goodnight to. Someone I'm sure will still be there when I wake up in the morning. And that in itself is a small reason to be happy. Maybe life is just about accumulating these little slivers of joy. And perhaps those tiny slivers of joy, fibers so small you might not notice them until they were gone, ultimately weave together to form a brilliant tapestry. Damn. I was gonna cut the stream, but instead I wake up in the middle of the night. Actually, I have no way of telling whether it's the middle of the night or almost dawn, but my body, stubbornly refusing to shift, seems aware that it hasn't been too long since I fell asleep. Then why am I awake? It's not as if I had a nightmare, and I'm dealing with the cold well enough. I'm not freezing, at least. It's just a bad premonition I had, or an omen of some sort. I need to be... where? Oh. Where's the toilet? There's no bath in this house. Don't tell me there isn't a toilet either. In any case, no, there's no way I'll be able to find it in this dark. Rustle, rustle. What's that sound? Uh-oh. Oh jeez, who's this kicking me in the crown jewels? That would definitely wake you up. She continues out, quietly creaking the door shut. Her footsteps fade into the distance. I think I see some lamplight peeking under the door, but it immediately disappears and the room is still dark once more. What's that girl doing up at this time of night? My mind springs back into action. Oh yeah, the toilet. Wait, Nina, I need to go to... Where's she gone? I followed the light of her lamp, but got lost in the narrow alleys on the way. You're gonna get lost, my man. Is the nearest toilet really that far away? Oh crap, my bladder's at its limit. There's nothing for it but to relieve myself in this gutter or something. You made it. Guess the tank was full because I've been holding it for so long. But having emptied it out in one go, I feel kind of chilly now. Achoo! All of a sudden I'm blinded by a dazzling light. Then my eyes finally adjust to the brightness. I find someone standing there. Bruh, Oh, it's you, Lina. Wait a sec, I'm not quite done yet. Jeez, it's hard doing this with you staring at me. Phew, that's better. I don't know, man. My bad, it was an emergency. What are you doing in a place like this anyway? Lina's face stiffens for a moment and then looks up at me. This sort of thing you can't tell anyone else about. Huh? God, I won't tell anyone, promise. She smiles sweetly. Did she do that on purpose? Is she trying to manipulate me? Well, there's no point in worrying about that now. I wanted to end the stream. With Lina leading the way, we arrive at a large tunnel that's bored into the perimeter wall of the residential district. The light bulbs hanging from the ceiling are dead. The darkness stretches on and on into the distance. We soldier on, guided only by the lamplight. There are several bumps along the way, but it's essentially a single path that we follow down the tunnel, despite several narrow branching passages. We encounter dust-wreathed heaps of ore everywhere we look. This must have been sitting here for years. It must have been the coal mine. Actually, I bet it's a long time since anyone's entered this tunnel. Kevin wants to end the stream. MC, shit. Shit, man, I gotta piss. At some points, the ceiling has caved in, making our passage extremely narrow. This is definitely not a safe place to be. Just what on earth are we doing? Lina comes to a halt and raises her lamp up high. Are we outside? Oh. Gleaming in the lamplight is a thick metal door. Hella thick. Perhaps door is the wrong term. It's round and only large enough for one person to pass through, so calling it a hatch might be more appropriate. Next to it is a control panel with a little red light for operating the hatch. This must be the one that's connected to the grid around here. It certainly radiates a very different aura to the bare rock and dirt of the tunnel. That's Nina's older brother. Oh, is it going to the outside world? She presses her hand against the door as she speaks. Door into summer. By the way, since it is connected to some grid, She's really lucky that this isn't connected to, like, whatever electronic system they have in the church. Is electronics even a thing, actually? Wait, didn't they say that, or at least down here there's no electricity down any lower levels. Maybe up there's electricity. I didn't pay attention to anything. I would think they would be monitoring all the hatches, if even the church people know about this. The summer lie beyond this door, a world of endless blue skies and oceans. We know that there's probably snow.
古い本の題名から取ったんだって。
Ah, so that's what it is? That's right, there's no way it could be summer on the other side, not in this frigid climate. Regardless, Nina reaches out to me with a smile.
行こう、せつな。私が連れてってあげる。夏の世界に。
I take her hand without a single thought. I don't know why, but I somehow feel like she really may be able to take me there.
第1話、夏への扉を越えて。なんちゃって。あ、横穴に気をつけて。迷ったら出られなくなっちゃうよ。
Bruh. I crawl forward on my knees through the pitch black tunnel. Hey Dina, how much
もう
further?
少しだよ。頑張って。
So narrow that not even the light of Dina's lamp reaches me. The only option for me in this darkness is to follow the soft outline of Dina's butt. Or to follow? What did I just read? The only option for me in this darkness is to follow the soft outline of Dina's butt. Hearing it in my head now, though, it kind of sounds pathetic. Whoa, why'd you stop all of this?
急ごう、せつな。油切れちゃいそう。
But how do you come back then? Just as the tunnel widens enough for me to walk on my 2 feet once more, a whole new world suddenly opens up before me. A great expanse of
どう？
light.
絶景でしょ？
Never seen so many stars shining in the sky. Even the snow is glittering silver in their light. Despite the dark, I can still make out the mountains in the distance, oddly enough. My depth perception is all over the place, but the snow-capped peaks look just like rolling waves. The only difference is that they aren't moving. There's no sound, no movement. It's almost as if time itself is frozen in this realm of light. Is this? When I breathe in to speak, my lungs fill with fresh air, clean air. The cold is piercing, but also strangely pleasant. It's like my body's being cleansed out.
そう。ここがアイランドの外の世界。誰も知らないもう一つの世界だよ。
Dina smiles cheerfully, her back on the silver white plains. Her back to the silver white. I can't read at all, man. The white of her breath rises up and dissipates in the air.
この世界はね、全部私のものなの。
She stretches her arms as wide as she can, spins around on the spot. It's like she's trying to hold the whole world in her arms. I see. That's what makes you Princess Nina.
何か言った？
If this world belongs to her, then she's its princess. No mistake. Princess Nina, maiden princess of the night. Night of nights. It's nothing, but she must have noticed, right? There's nothing to be found out here but solitude.
でも、今日からはセツナと半分こだね。
Huh? Nina dashes down the slope, leaving fresh little footsteps every step of the way.
こっちこっち。
It's dangerous to run about like that.
平気平気。
She slips and plunges headfirst into the snow. Nina! I lunge forward without thinking, but my foot sinks deeper than I thought it would. Whoa. Tumble, tumble.
ダメダメ。こっち来ないで。
Crash, tumble, tumble. The two of us collapse in a heap, then roll the rest of the way down the slope. And when we finally stop... Ow, ow, ow. Looking up, I found an impressive trail of tracks leading straight down from the mouth of the tunnel up on the mountain ridge. Nina, are you okay? She laughs and laughs, lying spread-eagled on the ground. Figures a kid her age would still be fine after that. I, on the other hand, feel a little dizzy after rolling around so much. She's laughing her head off, flopping her legs around and kicking at the snow. It's not like she's putting on some kind of performance. She's genuinely having the time of her life. Just seeing Nina like this makes me laugh too, strangely enough. There's nothing for it but to go back on what I said earlier. This world is not one of solitude. There's her, Nina, and there's me, Setsuna. That alone should be enough to get this world moving again.
あ、そうそう。ちょうどこの辺なんだよ。 刹那を見つけたの。こんな格好でね、倒れてたの。
She flops face first into the snow.
助けてくれリンネ、助けてくれってね。
They're acting so wooden. Don't go making up dialogue. I couldn't have said Nina or anything like that.
呼んでたの。
I'd never met you before, though.
でも呼んでたもん。
Let's just say I did then. I'm not going to win against Her Royal Highness. The princess's word is absolute after all.
ねえ、刹那はどこから来たの？他にもアイランドみたいなところがあるの？
So about that. I told you it's top secret.
ここなら誰にも聞かれないよ。
You can hear me.
誰にも話さないよ。
But
私のこと信じられない？
that's right, she told me her secret. This world belongs to her, and she shared half of it with me. It wouldn't be fair for me not to say anything. Truth is, I don't remember.
覚えてない。
How should I explain it? I really don't know a thing.
じゃあ極秘任務ってのは嘘だったの？
A lie? The word makes my heart twinge. Ninette, who's now staring intently up at me, looks a little saddened. Also, MC has in fact forgotten. That was the whole sequence with him dreaming. Essentially, he's forgotten the past. It wasn't a lie. It's just another. Isn't this just another flimsy cover so I don't end up disappointing her here and now? Wait, what? It wasn't a lie. Or is it based on some fragment of my memories which should have all but disappeared? I can't tell what my reasons are right now, but there's one thing I'm certain of. Fairly certain of. There's something I absolutely had to do. Something I had to accomplish. That's how I truly feel when I see her face. I think I had a mission more important than my own life. I can't remember what it was. It's stuck in my throat. I can't form the words. It should be right in front of my eyes, but I can't see it. I can't reach it. It's so tormenting. I feel like my heart's about to burst from my chest. Before I know it, Nina's standing on her tiptoes, her hand resting atop my head.
いいんだよ。無理して思い出さなくても。
Huh?
そんなに大切なことなら、きっと思い出さなくても大丈夫。いつか叶うよ。刹那の夢。
Will you forgive me for forgetting the one most important thing in my head? Would you believe me if I told you I could still make things work? Would you, Rina?
だから泣かないで。
I'm not crying.
じゃあそれは何？
I have a runny nose. Must be the Pororoka effect acting on. Excuse me. Excuse me? When movements are distinct and simultaneous, inside and outside this effect is... What is this? What? I have no idea what this is. Whatever.
よしよし。
Yeah, what's with this kid? Can't believe this tiny little girl is comforting me. No one's looking right.
私以外にはね。
You're okay. Just you, though. You getting too close for me for me? She getting too close to me for comfort? No, I'm the one who's being too distant. I feel like she can see it all. The thoughts I can't verbalize, the dreams I've lost. I'm glad you were the one who found me. Though, maybe I only feel like that because she's the one who happened to find me. Even if it had been someone else, I bet I'd still think my rescuer was special. No, that's not true. I don't know why, but there's something different about her.
大げさだよ。おとぎ話の刹那とリンネじゃあるまいし。
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
じゃあ行こう。急がないと朝が来ちゃう。
Leaving it at that, Nina turns and leads me away, in the opposite direction of the tunnel entrance, that is. Come to think of it, what are you doing out in a place like this? Are these nightly walks a hobby of yours? Nightly walks, I asked, frantically trying to catch up with her.
探し物。
What? Looking for something? Don't tell me you're missing brother.
違う違う。 そんなに子供じゃないよ、私。
And what?
この辺かな。
The time machine? She suddenly crouches down and whips out the spade from her pouch. Then starts digging in the snow. Suddenly. I think she's holding... Is that a human skull? Actually, in closer inspection, it looks like it's just some metal object in the shape of a skull.
ここのスイッチを押したら。
Wow, its eyes flashed red.
スターティングイニシャライゼーションシークエンス
It talks?
ターニングアサシネーションモードオンス
Okay.
あれ、電池切れかな。
She slaps the metal dome like she's trying to bring an old television back to life. But the lights in its eyes fade and the skull falls silent.
昔はね、人間の代わりにこんなロボットがご飯作ったり掃除し
Looks
たり
like
し
your
てくれてたんだっ
passwords.
て。
Yes. So, I guess, developments in, I don't know, science and electronics have gone downhill over time. Robots. No, can't imagine a robot made being this creepy.
他にもね、生ゴミを入れたら動く乗り物があったり、どんなものでもコピーできる機械があったりしたんだって。
Wonder how much of that can be believed. But the skull does look very well made. Even if it's just a toy, I can't fathom the kind of technology that you have needed to manufacture it.
この辺はね、少し雪を掘るといろんなものが出てくるんだよ。
An old
昔
landfill
のゴ
site?
ミ捨て場だったみたい。
Ina pulls out something resembling an electronic circuit from the skull and puts it in her bag, smiling contentedly.
こうやって使えそうなものを集めるのが私の日課なんだ。
I see, so your hobby is collecting junk.
ガラクタじゃないもん、使えるもん。
So what was that thing for just now?
さあ、
Uh-huh.
だって設計図に似たようなのが載って。あ、うなんで
Blueprint?
もない。よーし、今日も頑張るよ。
Turning it back to me to mask her slip of the tongue, she starts digging in the snow again. She's really hunched over. Something tells me that this isn't just a hobby for her. In which case, I'll help too. A spare pair of hands always helps, right? I drop to my knees and start burrowing through the snow.
いいよいいよ。素手じゃ大変だよ。
It's nothing compared to collapsing out here in the
けど
snow.
けど、霜焼けになっちゃう。
I'll just have to bring the right equipment tomorrow.
明日？
You do this every day, right?
うん。そうだけど、ありがとう。
For whatever reason, Nina seems really pleased. She breaks into a smile, emitting a cloud of white breath. It's just the two of us here in this glittering realm of silver. Digging away in the snow with no idea of what we're searching for. What are we trying to find anyway? What's this? I pull out something hard to the touch. The device is small enough to hold in one hand. It has a little LCD screen, some buttons, some holes for a speaker or mic. Also, how do you know what an LCD screen is?
すごい。宇宙翻訳機じゃないかな、それ。
Nah, it's just a regular old cell phone. How do you know the brand name is even on the power button?
携帯？
She hasn't heard of a cell phone before? Well, true, it doesn't seem like anyone, like they have any on the island. It's actually a cellular telephone, cell phone for short.
電話？
She doesn't even know what a phone is. It's a machine that lets you talk to people who are far, far away.
それならわかるよ。ニューロインフォ社が開発した最初の BMI だね。
I don't know anything about any BM what's it, but it sounds like she's on the right track, probably?
ねえ、電池残ってそう？
There's no way. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't even have a battery pack?
じゃあ多分いらないかな。今探してるのは電池だから。
Where for? Like dry cell batteries?
うんうん。SAM505 型電池。
Never heard of them.
見て、これが SAM101 型。これの大きなやつを探してるの。
Item she takes out of her pouch to show is a small metal cube about 1 centimeter across. The size and shape of the object, not to mention little round holes on each side, make it just look like a dice.
101型はたまに見つかるんだけどね。505型じゃないとダメなんだよ。
Carefully puts the tiny battery away and resumes her excavation. 1 second she's oblivious to stuff that even I'm familiar with, and the next she's spouting total gobbledygook like it makes perfect sense. Is my memory loss the only reason for this huge discrepancy in our knowledge? Or is my amnesia just a symptom of something else? Where on earth did I come from? Why am I in a place like this? Hey Dina, if you mentioned a blueprint, right? If I'm not mistaken. Just what are you?
何を作ってるかって
Dina stops digging for a moment.
秘密
She's got a real disarming smile. It's very good at putting you at ease. Well, never mind. What is she making? Following Nina's lead, I resume my search. She told me that my dream would come true someday. So I'm sure I'll find what I'm looking for. The things I've forgotten, the things I've lost. Oh, what's this?
それ本で見たことあるよスモールライト
So, what? Looks like a regular old flashlight to me.
すごいの見つけちゃったフェイザー仕様のレーザー銃
That's just a water gun. Whoa, some kind of weird ray shot out of it. This is the real deal.
加熱タイプみたい出力が少し弱いけどランプに火をつけるくらいはできるかも
It's a bit extravagant to use a ray gun as a lighter.
ライターやマッチの方が贅沢だよ
I have no clue how much anything is worth here.
刹那のスモールライトは使えそう
I don't think it's a shrink ray. Anyway, the bulb's broken, the battery's leaked, so it doesn't look like we can use it. Why do I keep finding these bits of trash? At least give me something Nina can use. Oh, I found something. Oh, it's just a mirror. It's an object I'm perfectly familiar with. A car's wing mirror, but it's broken at the base and the glass has cracks in it.
鏡
Nina's eyes light up. She's clearly excited about something. Is this one of the things she's after? Here you are. I chuck it towards her. Nina clumsily catches it and peers at it wide-eyed, like she's seen a ghost. What's the mirror for? Why am I asking that question? She's not listening. What? Guess it must be pretty important.
私の顔こんなだったんだ
Okay, they've been to a bath before, and you know you can sometimes see your reflection on water? You know what I'm saying? Hasn't you ever looked into a mirror before?
見て見てこれが私の顔だよ
Oh, you pointed at me. Oh, I see you, some scruffy dude's mug. Nina, you numbskull. Wow, I thought you were meant to have some brains on you.
どう
Oh, quite the looker.
ヒヒ
Yep, we're a right pair of
あり
numbskulls.
がとう刹那宝物にするね
She hugs the broken mirror to her chest, wearing a smile as bright as the sun. You can certainly see the value in a magic item that grants her a vision of the smile whenever she wants it.
じゃあ大収穫もあったし今日は早めに戻ろっか
So, you know, everyday stuff, except a ray gun, is like treasure to her, because the inside world doesn't have it. The island doesn't have it. Why is it called island in the first place? Nina wraps her hands around mine and then warms them with her breath. Remember when I said I wanted to stop streaming a while ago? Yeah, that happened. My fingers had gone completely numb from the snow. I hadn't realized.
刹那はすごいね昔の機械にも詳しいし
I'm sure you know more. It's my first time seeing a laser gun or whatever
で
it
も
was.
設計図に載ってるのはもっとずっと古い機械から取れるパーツばっかり
What's
なん
on
だ
it?
もん
Two of us walk along side by side, following our tracks back through the snow. The path we must now follow made up of the tracks we left before.
刹那がいてくれたら案外早く完成するかも
That's great. I have no idea what she's making, but I'm sure that once she's finished it, my work here will be done. I don't know why, it's just a feeling. She's making a time machine. And then once I'm done here...
幸せになれるよみんな絶対
Nina's been staring straight ahead where the tracks lead. Up towards the top of the slope, to the slightly ajar door into summer. Hey Nina, what do you mean everyone? Then that I feel it. My toes bump against something hard, almost bringing me toppling over. I pick it up. It's an old, completely rusted over, but it's unmistakably a portable cassette player. The one that I probably brought with me. The one that was brought from the other world. From 20,000 years ago, I mean. What? Why is this here of all places?
せつな、また何か見つけたの?
Oh no, it's just what was this? I press play, but nothing happens as I expected. The tape's still inside. I can just get my hands on another cassette player. How can I in a place like this?
綺麗な機械。修理したらまだ使えそうだね。
You can fix it? I ended up grabbing Venus' shoulders in the heat of the moment.
多分だけど。
Probably is good enough for me, please. I need to hold on to it. This remnant of my lost memories.
もしかして、せつなのもの?
I briefly choke up. It's not mine. Whatever's recorded in here, whatever feelings are enclosed within it, none of it belongs to me. But the only one now able to accept those feelings, the only person left in this world who's capable of that. Oh, that's it. It's me, right? Who else can save her but me? Saving her? Is that my purpose here? Her. My...
じゃあ、頑張らないとね。
Nina pretends to roll up her sleeves. Her smile is just so pure and innocent. I somehow managed to escape back through the pitch-black tunnel after Nina returned to the residential district, not bothered in the slightest by her dirt-streaked clothes. Nina curls up on the bed like a cat, and I do the same on the floor. The fatigue hits me like a brick wall, and I sink deep into thought. Too much happened today. My body's tired, of course, but it's my head that's really could do with a rest. It's said that we need time to sleep for the brain to process what happened during the day. I guess the world is just too complicated for us to properly comprehend. For the brain to take in new information, something else needs to be forgotten. The problem is deciding what to keep and what to throw away. The steady rhythm of her breathing calms my nerves. I am worried that she's being too trusting with a guy she's only just met, but...
せつな。
I'll fess up, Nina. Truth is, I didn't wake up early because I needed to go to the bathroom. I was awake because I was scared. Scared of losing sight of what I need to keep, of what I ought to throw away. But then you showed me the world outside of the island, and now I've found it. I think I know what I have to do. And I think that's also where we end this. Oh boy, what are we... Right, we're gonna save this.
ちゃんと覚えておきなさいよ。
The Schrodinger's cat thought experiment. Anyway,
あら、
that's gonna
タイト
be
ルに戻
where
るの?
we're gonna end that.
ネバーアイランド。
Never Island, indeed. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of characters seen. A lot of stuff discovered. Ooh, man, this game has a lot to take in, and the anime sure as heck doesn't have quite enough time to make this all work. Anyway, thanks for watching. I also released the previous episode now. I think it should be done. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video or whatever. Bye.